How is Fani doing in Fulton County, Atlanta? How's that trial? No, I paid him cash. I didn't take anything. I paid him cash. Oh, where'd you get the cash?
When your daughter moved or left the house that she owned, did she say anything to you about having a large savings of cash?
Oh, no, no. See, Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay? But it's a black thing, okay? And most black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash.
If you look at the dates of the trip, I think we were there about 6 days. We stayed at 2 different locations.
And you paid for it?
100%. He said, I paid for the hotel, I paid for the flights, I had a birthday luncheon for him, I paid for massages, I paid for everything.
You spent all of the money on this?
Paid him in cash?
My recollection is I took about 4 in cash with me today.
400 or 4,000?
4,000. But I remember I handed him 2,500.
Fulton County, it seems like you have some payments to make. Just when you thought the shenanigans with Fani Willis and Nathan Wade were over, they have intensified just a tad, just a smidge. Hey everybody, it's me, AV. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things law, true crime, and a little bit of debauchery. Here with an important update if you're in the state of Georgia following the Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, Trump debacle. Yesterday, the Georgia Senate just passed a bill that could let Donald Trump and his co-defendants get reimbursed for their legal fees. But that's just part of the fallout. It ties back to Fani Willis and her relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, which led to her removal from the Trump election interference case. What does this mean for defendants in the state of Georgia when prosecutorial misconduct is detected and reviewed? First, let's break down what this bill actually does. Senate Bill 244, which passed unanimously, allows defendants to seek reimbursement for legal fees if a prosecutor is disqualified from a case. That means Trump and his 18 co-defendants could now try to recover some of the money they spent fighting the charges against them. This could be huge in the state of Georgia for any defendants. And when we think about all of these RICO cases that have been coming out of Fulton County, the YSL case as an example, let's take a peek at what was passed yesterday. The purpose of the amendment is relating to the general provisions regarding the assessment and payments of costs of criminal proceedings so as to provide for the award of reasonable attorney's fees and costs in a criminal case to the defendant upon such the defendant making a successful motion to disqualify the prosecuting attorney for misconduct in connection with the case, to provide for procedures for assessing and paying such fees and costs. So let's get to the core of it. In the event, based upon a motion by the defendant in a felony or misdemeanor criminal case, that the prosecuting attorney in such case is disqualified due to improper conduct on the part of such prosecuting attorney, the defendant shall be entitled to an award of reasonable costs and attorney's fees in the case. If the disqualification of the prosecuting attorney results in the criminal case being dismissed against the defendant who filed the motion for disqualification due to improper conduct, the defendant who filed the motion for disqualification shall be entitled to an award of all reasonable attorney's fees and costs incurred by the defendant in defending the case. The defendant who filed a successful motion for disqualification of the prosecuting attorney based upon the misconduct of such prosecuting attorney shall file a motion for reasonable attorney's fees and costs upon termination of the underlying criminal case. The judge to whom the criminal case was assigned shall consider such motion for reasonable attorney's fees and costs and shall award such reasonable attorney's fees and costs as provided under this code section to such defendant. Attorney's fees and costs awarded under this code shall be paid from the treasury of the county in which such criminal case was brought. Fulton County, it seems like you have some payments to make. Even Democrats acknowledge that the bill could have broader implications beyond Trump's case, potentially helping other defendants who face wrongful prosecution due to prosecutorial misconduct. Was this bill a necessary step towards accountability, or was it designed specifically to benefit Trump? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And in the meantime, let's hear from the sponsor of today's video, Aura. I don't know if you know this, but AT&T recently revealed that 73 million customer records were released, both existing and former customers, on the dark web. If my information was compromised in an AT&T data breach, I'm not worried because Aura is always on, always doing the hard work to keep me safe. I value my privacy and I also value yours. You can go to aura.com/AV7 to start your free 2-week trial using this service. Also linked below in the description. Protect your information today, guys. It's super important, and I cannot tell you how much time it will save you in the event that you get into a jam. Now let's get into what really cost Fani Willis her position in this case, her improper relationship with Nathan Wade. Wade, who Willis hired as a special prosecutor, was being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money despite having limited experience in high-profile RICO cases. Friend of the channel, Ashley Merchant, and I had an opportunity to talk about this a few months ago.
I mean, I think that we need to have some restrictions on the use of RICO. I think this is a perfect example of it being overused. You know, there's no real mechanism in criminal law to dismiss a case pretrial. There really isn't. You know, in civil law, you have summary judgment. And so for your viewers, you know, that's basically you bring a civil lawsuit, you get evidence, you get depositions and stuff, and then the lawyers argue if there's enough evidence to even force everybody to go to trial. We don't have that in criminal. One of the reasons in theory is because we have a grand jury, but the grand jury doesn't hear everything and they only hear what the prosecution wants. So it's not adversarial and it's not really, you know, it's not really the mechanism to weed out cases. Because we don't have that mechanism, we need to have some guardrails. And I think RICO is one of those types of statutes where we just don't have those guardrails. And so how I could best explain it is in the federal system, we've had racketeering charges for decades.
Yes. Yeah.
You never see trials like YSL in the federal system. The reason
That's true.
And you know why is because they have a DOJ manual. So in federal, you have to look at the structure and the discretion. So for the federal system, it's a little political science lesson here for your viewers. So in the federal system, the attorney general dictates policy for every single federal prosecutor across the country. So the U.S. attorney for Atlanta, for example, in the Northern District, they work for the attorney general. So they can't go and say, I want to use RICO this way. They have to follow.
Can't. Okay.
No, even though the law, even though the statute says they can, they have a DOJ manual and they have to follow that DOJ manual. So it's an internal administrative rule that's set by their president, the attorney general, sets it and says, all of you have to follow this. You can't indict 20 people. Like whatever the rule is, you can't do that. So for the state of Georgia, every single prosecutor in the different counties, they're not ruled by anybody. There's no president. There's no attorney general. So in the state of Georgia, Fani Willis is not accountable to anybody. Nobody can give her a DOJ manual. Nobody can give her administrative rules. She has a law. She can use it however she wants. And where in the federal system, each prosecutor's office can't use it however they want. They have to follow these administrative rules. We don't have the ability to curb what district attorneys and counties do in Georgia.
And here's where it gets messy. Wade wasn't just cashing in on a high-paying gig. Testimony revealed that he was using money he earned from this case to fund lavish vacations with Willis, including trips to Napa Valley and other expensive getaways.
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
But the homie had answers.
Ever?
Ever.
No.
You lying.
Why?
Why you always lying?
There were serious ethical concerns when this was brought up. Billable hours, it was just a giant mess. The argument in court wasn't just about whether they had a personal relationship, but whether that personal relationship financially benefited Willis while she was in charge of prosecuting the president and his co-conspirators, alleged co-conspirators.
Girl was like, hey, babe, you want to be in charge of this prosecution of the president of the United States who did this insurrection? Did you think, like, this could get messy? Or you was like, nah, I'll be all right.
We did not have that type of relationship at the outset, and we were interviewing other people for the position.
What position was it?
It was the position of special prosecutor.
Did that position look like this? Or did that position look like this?
So no.
position look like this.
Trump and his co-defendants might not only walk away from the case, but also get their legal fees reimbursed by the state. Big deal for any defendant in the state of Georgia with a similar issue. At its core, this isn't just about Trump's case anymore. It's about accountability and the justice system, and whether those in power can use their positions for personal gain. The bill to reimburse defendants signals that Georgia lawmakers want to crack down on prosecutorial misconduct, but does it go far enough? Let me know what you think in the comments section about this. Did Fani Willis and Nathan Wade cross the line? Should Trump and his co-defendants get their legal fees reimbursed? Let me know what you guys think. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe. We talk about all things law, true crime, and debauchery. Until next time, stay safe out there. See you in the next one. Bye.